Fluorite. I think, yeah, fluorite. I sold a rock and I sold bushes today. With this agenda, I have a lot of cards that sold overnight. I'll sprinkle them through the video so you can see the variety of cards that sold to buyers. It's not what I think I'll buy, it's what they bought. And so I got 11 cards on eBay, 5 on Etsy, and 0 on HIP. Then we have a special topic, view cards. What is a view card compared to a topical card? So a view card is what I'll go over. I have a little special thing to share with everyone about some quick reference cards now on Ko-Fi. It's a little store and stuff, and I'll get into that on there. It benefits charity and also gives you a little something people have asked and I've sent out in emails, but I found an easier way to do that. And it's free. And then a viewer sent me this postcard. It's one of the coolest ones. And it's got a lot of crossover in it, and we're going to talk about that postcard. It was perfect for the video. And then I have one of the polls. Now I messed up on the video. I redid a poll that I did before. But after I did the edit, I figured it out. I left it in. The one about what time do you mail and ship pack postcards. You'll see it twice. What I'm trying to do is, we're going to be traveling here in a little bit. And I'm trying to get some videos done so I don't have to come back and record a lot. And I kind of messed up and used one twice. Bound to happen. And then I got some viewer comments to go over at the end like normal. But first, let me go over what sold on eBay. Now this one sold out of that series I did of 8 videos for that private collection. This is the capture of a Spanish war in dry dock, and this sold for $5.55, and that came out of one of the albums. It's just a undivided back card on there, and it's a ship, naval ship, that one there, and this. And I have a video coming up. I bought 37 Chicago postcards, so you'll want to check that video. It's a short video coming out on a Saturday coming up, but I found a whole bunch of Chicago postcards, and I'm a sucker for local postcards. This is View in Perennial Gardens, Humboldt Park, and this falls right into our special topic of view cards. This is just some flowers, and on there it's divided back. I think it's about early 1910 or so on there. And this sold for about $7. Picture of just a view card. The next one is 2 cards, if I can get them unstuck. Or one's a photo, and this is the Carol, DE-171. Just one of those 3x6 photos. And then they bought a print as well, the Tripoli CVE-64. One of those lighter cardstock, continental size. Photo sold for $8.55, and the card sold for $4.55. Then I sold a Valley Forge. Now this guy asked me a question on there. If you see that little label on the back, he saw that and he wanted me to blow it up, so I sent him a blown up picture of that, and he asked if that label's permanent. To me, it's permanent. It's been on there for a long time, but I didn't want to take it off and destroy it. It was up to him, and he went ahead and paid full price, $8.55 for this one. By answering questions sometimes like that, valid questions from buyers, it got a sale. Now this card, if you haven't watched the Pittsburgh Picker channel, and I'll put it right up here, Adam and Sarah do a channel. They go live on Thursday, Sunday, and then there's a Monday night vibe with Dark County Picker and Ed, the reselling writer, and Adam from Pittsburgh Picker. It's Thursday, Sunday, and Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. They have a small chat out there, and it's growing. It's a nice, relaxed environment. They talk about a lot of different things, reselling, whatnot, Macari, Posh, a lot of good people in there. But they got a bunch of postcards, and they do sell some ephemera, and they had someone give them a box of about 5 postcards, and it had multiples of the same card, so it was probably 500-600 cards in there, and this was one of them. Seminole Indian. Right there, it's just a linen card. They just sent them to me. Didn't even charge me for anything. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks, Adam, Sarah. And I sold 2 of those cards for $4.55 a piece. And I just put like 20 up on eBay and Etsy each or whatever, 5 on multiple quantity, and then I put the rest in the box in the closet. But I put a note in my box when I get to the end that says more in closet, so I can just keep adding to the quantity on those. I don't think they'll be fast sellers, but they're already sold 2 within a couple of weeks. The Seminole Indians will always sell for Florida, and there's a few other ones that were view cards, linens. We'll see how they do. I never turned down a postcard. Next one is a mini sink hotel, Port Jervis, New York. Vertical card hotels. They sell $4.55. Let me go and finish up these eBay ones. The Ranch Motel, another motel. Linen card, you can tell by the blue. Unposted, $4.55. Got them inset. These things. They're not the top dollar ones, but these are what pay the bills. And then this is another one of the Navy ship prints. It's the Tripoli again, LPH-10. It's just an amphibious assault ship, vertical on there. And this is one of the color ones, not a black and white. But continental size, $4.55. Another view card, goes right along with our special topic. That's a view of a lake. Gardens, lovely Descanto Gardens, La Canada, California. Chrome card. Divided back. $4.55. And then I sold another rock. I sold a rock. I think it's a rock. Fluorite crystals from Rassaclair, Illinois. I think it goes this way. Fluorite. I think, yeah, fluorite. I sold a rock and I sold bushes today. Pays the bills. So I'm in the rock business. But that's all the cards on eBay, which was $75 worth. Those two photos probably helped with that, but $75 on eBay. Sales have been up and down. Roller coaster on there. I'm not pivoting to change anything. It's the economy to me. No one's out there pressing buttons saying, you know, stop Mark from selling postcards. Not jumping in and changing sales and relisting and all that. I'm just taking a ride. I'm going to take and ride the wave, and it'll be okay. You have some good days and you have some bad days. On the good days, put the money away for the bad days, and let's weather this little trend that's going on. But let's talk about view cards. I just showed you a couple examples of what a view card is, and I get a lot of questions about this and stuff. Does it really make a difference if you put view card or topical card in a title? A lot of people don't even know what that is. That's outside of postcards. To me, that's my opinion. But I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the view cards here. Maybe help people understand it a little bit better. But a view cards, they're postcards that feature cities, places within cities. So postcards that feature cities and places within cities, such as parks, main streets, depots, storefronts, bridges, and roads. They are not topics such as holidays, animals, and cars. There is like a gray area in between where you would call like a storefront could also be a topic, but that's that crossover in there. So you just got to decide what you want to do. If it's a special store like an old JCPenney or something, would that be a topic or a view card? But a main street, looking down a main street, is a view. A park is a view. People collect cards of their towns and places they have visited. That's where a lot of the view cards will sell, is memories. You're selling memory. You're selling what's on the front of the card, the subject, the one that stopped them going through the search and clicking. It's just like YouTube, the thumbnails. You want people to stop the people from searching on their phone or whatever and click and watch your videos. Well, you want the good pictures and good cards that stick out, so it stops people from scrolling through and shopping to click on your thing and buy it, or at least view it. The best view cards are ones that show specific things that have changed over time. So we have some places here. I have a real photo postcard of a factory. It's a General Foods factory. They made dog food for years, from the 50s I think forward. And now it's in distress. It's been vacant for years and it's fallen apart. The windows are broken and stuff. I have a postcard of that as well. Changes. If it looked really good then in the 50s, and now what does it look like? So a lot of people like to see what it looked like before. Some view cards have some very historic reference to them and are sought out by museums and local societies. I couldn't tell you how many times I've had museums or prop houses contact me, or their name said something like that, Museum Society, that bought a postcard of what it looked like a small town. One of the most abundant postcards available is the view cards. Sometimes the views might not be the place. They use the generic view sometimes, just like the same sky for Dexter Press. It might be a park or something and they just stuck different town names on there. And that's how they can mass produce and mass sell those back then. it can be interesting to see if the view is actually part of that town or not. Sometimes there's a crossover between topical and view cards. It really depends on what people see in the cards in the image. A main street with old cars, is it cars or a view of the main street? So if people are collecting cars, they're going to say it's a topic because it's a car. But if people are looking for what it looked like back in the 40s of the main street, then it's a view card. There's your crossover. No right or wrong. It's whatever they're looking at. I list these cards and sell them all the time. As I just showed you, I probably 3 or 4 view cards in that stack I just showed you. I don't shy away. Now there are some that are just plain that I won't do, but very few and far between. I'll put them up for $4.55. I don't go lower than that. Try not to. A lot of sellers will not even consider view cards. They like the higher value, which is fine. That's their model on there. And most sellers will put them in their quarter or dollar boxes. And that's where I find a lot of view cards when I look, is 5 for $1 or dollar cards. And I'll walk out with 50, 60 cards out of the quarter boxes while everybody's over there looking at the RPPCs. So it's a niche that I got into, is the white border and down to chrome. And that all comes back to what I like and what my data tells me sells the most. Now I can go out and get the RPPCs that are view cards, but then there are RPPCs. It's just a lot of crossover. But I really like the view cards, and that's my niche. But just to justify what prices you get for view cards, and this was interesting to go out and try to find view cards, because a lot of people don't put view card in their title. It's hard to search sometimes, so I had to kind of look at the pictures and pull out the ones I see. Now, hopefully I got it right. Go through the sold high, the sold low, list high, list low, and just get a good understanding of what these go for. I've seen view cards of a park anywhere from 99 cents on an auction all the way up to $130, $140. It's very widespread. Bet you the 99-cent one sold before $130. A lot of view cards are not worth that much unless they're RPPCs with a view, but then they're RPPCs. But the first ones I got here, this is a airline postcards, Miami, Florida business district. So it's an air view of the business district, sold for $4.99. Right in my alley, right there. And you can see the airplane. It looks like a linen card, but it could be a chrome. $4.99 free shipping. Then the next one is 2 CO Vale Village Night View, 4x6. There's no reason to put the size in the title. Maybe Google or someone might think that's a multiplication, a calculation, or whatever. But there was an auction. Went for $3 and $1 shipping, so $4 for 2 cards, so $2 a piece. Next one, East Maryland, North Bend Lake View postcard. It kind of looks like possibly an undivided back because there's a writing tab at the bottom, but $8. So someone knows of that lake, and they got $2 shipping, so $10 they got for that card. Go from $10 to $4. So I'd say between $4 and $8 is on the high side for a lot of the view cards, but it just depends what people will pay for it, is what it's worth. But if you want to move cards, you want to try to stay within the range that on there. These numbers I give you doesn't mean this is what you have to sell it for, and they won't sell if you go higher. It's just people race to the bottom there, keep bringing the prices down. So if you want to go to $6.99, $7.99 for a good card, do it and see what it does for a while. And monitor your business and see if you need to bring it down later. Then we get into sold lows. Now this one is a vintage postcard, Sunbury, Pennsylvania birds. $2.75 shipping. So the other ones were getting like $3 or $4, $5, and then this one got $2. 2 vintage postcards, Woodrow, Oklahoma, $1.50, $1 shipping. Another auction. 75 cents a card. Not much left there. Wasn't even worth the time. Unless you're doing hundreds and hundreds of those. That's not my model. There are people that are very successful in doing auctions like that. It takes all kinds to do things, to find your niche. And once you find your niche and you find something that works, keep doing it. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You have to do what I'm doing. So far I've been successful. Can I pivot to a different way and go into auction? Sure. Can I pivot over this way? Yeah, I'm set up to do that. So I watch these kind of close, but I'm not going to pivot if I have 1 month of low sales or 2 months. I look for the month, the quarter, 6 months, in a year. And I'm on track to be over last year. Now we get into listed. And this is where a lot of people don't look at listed, they just look at sold. You need to look at the listed, in my opinion, because this is your competition. These are the ones that are on the shelves with yours. And a lot of times I learn something from the listed high, because I'll see like this card here, $19.99 or best offer $4.65. What makes that stick out on there? Number one, there's 2 postcards it looks like in this lot. I didn't put the other one up here. And divided postcard, it's a divided back postcard, and that's in Item Specfics, but it has year, it has the state, the word postcard, and it's a view. But I think the card there is kind of unique. That's a nice looking card. Is it worth $10 because there's 2 cards? It could be. I wouldn't say this one's out of line. I would do a little digging, but I bet you this one will sell. Just with that card and the way it looks and stuff, I like that card. It's got a nice presentation to it. So I would leave that one alone, let it soak for a while and see what it does. Now the shipping, $4.65, yeah, I would do something with that. With eBay standard envelope, you could ship 2 postcards, up to 4 for 53 cents with tracking. But if he wants the insurance and all that stuff, which you're going to buy these cards for quarters and 50 cents or 10 cents. So, but that shipping, I bet you he could really push this if he knocked the shipping down to where it's not $5 to ship that. But that's what he likes to do. Maybe he's got burned and that's what he does. But your competition is not doing that. They're using that eBay standard envelope, I bet you. The next one is Mechanicsburg. Again, there's caps there. It's harder to read. It's like screaming. They do not recommend that as a best practice. It doesn't do anything too much for that. It does stick out, but it moves your eyes around and stuff, they say. And I do not recommend putting all caps. Now you can capitalize every letter of the words except the, and, if, and stuff like that. That looks nice if it's consistent. But this one stuck right out at me, and it's Mechanicsburg, PA. $24.95 best off for $3.50 shipping. Again, the shipping is a little high, but it's a higher price card. Do they want to put it in first class or put it in a rigid mailer that might not go through eBay standard envelope? With the shipping, that's another place that you can always lower your shipping and raise your price of your card. So if you want to go down to $2.50 shipping and make it a $25.95 card, it takes all different ways to how people see it. But me, I know how it works. That's $24.95 is $25 plus $3.50, that's $4. That's a $29 card for me. And just looking at that picture, it doesn't put it there. But if you make it a $25.95 card, they're going to say, wow, what's special about this? And it's only $2.50 to ship it? That's nothing. You're still getting the same money. But it changes the viewpoint from the buyer standpoint. The next one is Long Beach, California, matching day and night views. That's pretty cool. That I haven't seen that before, where they put a daytime and a nighttime view. Looks like it's the same card. It is, and then they have the night view and the day view. Now that is unique. I like that. I like how they that. I have to use that. I'm going to steal that or borrow it. Not steal, borrow. But $29.99, 2 cards, $15 a piece, $3.50 shipping. Again, play with the shipping. I don't know if they're $15 a piece for Long Beach because they're probably over saturated out there. But it's still, that's pretty cool. A day and a night of the same thing. That would be a neat thing for a collector to frame or have in their collection. So the novelty of it might drive it up to that price. He's got best offer on it, so he's testing the market. That's about the rate that I would do. So I think all of these listed except the middle one, I would say I would not have a problem with. But the middle one, 25, and the 350, there's just not a lot there. You're going to have to wait for that one person, get rid of the caps, and it might go. But all of these are pretty good. I don't have that much criticism on this one. But then you get into the listed low, and we get into the, basically, this is where you're going to see a lot of the view cards. 99 cents, best offer. Take the best offer on 99 cents. What are they going to offer you? 50 cents? $1.25. It's like at the flea market. I had these Chosky things. I just throw them in these bins, and they come over and I say a quarter a piece. The guy walks up, gets like a little Star Wars figures from McDonald's, whatever, and I had like a quarter on it. And he goes, "Would you take 10 cents for this?" And I handed him a bag. I said, "Fill it up and you can take them." They're mostly there for the kids and stuff like that. I don't, 10 cents, 25 cents. Yeah, I'll take and sell it for a dime, but it just amazes me that they even asked that. I can find a dime in the couch. But those are just 2 view cards for 99 cents. Next one is, now this is a foreign card, 2 1910s, $1.99 unused. Now Switzerland, was it during the war? When 1910s, it was before the war. Is there something special about these places? But $1.99, so basically $1 a card and $1.10 shipping. That's a little low if you really want to move the cards, but I like how they're putting the view cards together with 2. But I don't know, I don't do a lot of foreign cards, and I don't know Switzerland, but they just seem low. And then Spokane, Washington. So this is another one that used caps. They used the state name, they used abbreviation, and 5 waterfalls. $2.25. That's got a lot of cool bridges and stuff on there. And people in Spokane, Washington, they might, pay the $4 or $5 for that free shipping. But that title there just needs a little bit of work. That's my opinion. They can do what they want on there. But that's the pricing of them. So I would say $2 to $8. Depends what the view is and how long you want to sit on them. They're probably long on there, but remember, the sell-through rate of postcards is under 2%. It's 2% and below most of the time. And so they are going to sit unless you got a very special card, and that's where you really want to make sure you price them right. But most blue view cards for me, the chromes and stuff like that, $4.55 free shipping, 60-day returns, out the door in a day. I sell tons of them all day, every day. But view cards, don't pass them up if they got a unique view on there. Make sure you read what's on there, and if you don't know, you might get them for 10 cents or 25 cents. It's always easy to take the risk, and if just get a box, and if they're not worth listing, throw them in the box. When you get a big box, throw them back on eBay. Right now, lots of postcards on eBay. It's almost 1.5 times the money we were paying last year. I just saw 1,000 postcards, really nice lot on there, jump from $80 to like $160, $170 in the last minute of the auction. And before, I used to be able to buy 1,000 postcards with shipping under $100. But right now, the postcard lots are pretty hot. These are good cards to lot up and sell those lots as well. I know I jump on them. When I see 1,000 cards for $100 or $60, I have no problem jumping on a box of cards, because usually the first 50 cards will pay for everything. That's view cards. Go out and take a look at them. They're easy to spot, but there is some crossover. Who knew? Now let me finish up the Etsy cards, and we'll get these what solds out of the way. And remember, what solds is the variety, not really the money. Money's important too, that's why we do this. But it's more of the variety on what people are looking for, if you got any of these cards. Now this one is from that private collection. All these cards that I sold on Etsy are from that private collection. I did put a few of them up there on there. This is the Hotel Chamberlain. This one for $5.55. Undivided, or divided back on there, $5.55. And this is the same thing, Hotel Chamberlain. I had a lot of these, so I didn't price them high. I wanted to move them, and it's working. So I'm maybe losing a couple dollars on them, but I'm actually moving the stock. And I'll be providing at the end of the month an update on how, I just got finished with the Album 8 video. So I'll be doing a update. I'll probably do it at the end of every month in one of these videos. And then maybe 6 months I've had the collection, I'll do just one video to go so people can see that if they're not watching these. But to give you a sneak preview, I'm already making money. Now this guy, that person bought 2 of the cards. Now this person bought 3. And this is the Lake Mohonk Mountain House, Mohonk Lake. This went for like $7 on Etsy. White border card. Yeah, on there. And that's from that private collection. This is also the Mohonk, if you know, Mohonk Lake Mountain, whatever. Lake Mohonk Mountain House. If you notice, people are buying the same themes. The other one was Chamberlain Hotel. This is Lake Mohonk Mountain House. When you buy private collections, you get a lot of that, and they'll buy multiple. So this collector likes this card, and this sold for about $6 to $7. And then this one is the Testimonial Gateway. I didn't know what these would do. I didn't know much about them, but I just had a ton of them. If you watch that video, this is that gateway thing. I had all these different views on there. And this is divided back or yeah, divided back of the gateway, and that sold for between $6 and $7. On eBay, I had 11 cards for $75. Etsy, I sold 5 cards for $31. Hip is just not doing anything in the last 2 months. But then also, I sell toys. I sold this, $20. Power Ranger, brand new, right from the manufacturer. I got like 3 left. I sold a lot of these. This is that Lightning collection on there. But I wanted to show you that I do sell toys too. And that'll be packed up in a 1266 box, and it'll go first class. I don't use insurance that often. I self-insure. But some kid's going to have a nice gift for something, or maybe it's a collector. And if you notice, I have an inventory number right on there. So I even do that with my toys. So $126 total with the toy is what I sold. So $106 in postcards, 16 cards, $20 in toys, makes it a $126 day. Still not going to supersize my lunch, because I'm not for sure what's going on first the rest of the year. Now, since we got the what solds out of the way and the special topic, I'm going to get into, I had these cards. I showed these in a video a while ago, and I've sent them out to a lot of people and asked me to send the document out that I kept. But if you remember, that used to be on eBay before that they changed. Like all the different arrows, you drop it down and they give you the dates. I must have copied that a long time ago, and I had it on a card, and I kept it right here. And rigid mailer, just right next to me on the shelf here. I just grab it if I forget what years or whatever. I'm not good with names. That's what I did, a little quick reference, and I think I showed it on a video, so people have asked me for it. So that's one of them, and then the next one was the stamp document. And I'll put them up on the screen here, on there as well. But it shows you, like, if you have ASO, squares and corners, it goes 1927 to 1940s and stuff like that. So I've been trying to find a place when people ask me for these, hey, can you send me that in an email? And I would just cut and paste in an email, and it doesn't really look that great and stuff, and maybe I missed some emails. It wasn't easy, and as the channel grows, I didn't want to get to a point where I'm answering the emails all day. I've been looking for a place to put this out there, and you can just download it for free. I'll just point you over to it like I do videos. I'll point you to the videos. Buy Me a Coffee that all YouTubers and stuff use, they changed to go to Stripe or something, not PayPal. And I found this other site for buy a coffee. It's called Ko-Fi, C-O-F-I. So I've had it for a while. You know, I got $5 or something on it. I don't really push it. But I went in there, I noticed they had a shop. And I said, I wonder if I can put a free item in there, a digital download. And you can. And here's the store right here. As you notice, there's 4. You can actually download this for free. When you go into the link below in the video description, I have a little blurb in there now. You can click on it, it goes right into our place. And then you go into the shop, and you'll see you can download for free. And then also, if you want it printed out like this card here on postcard stock, I just printed on a 6x4 postcard, nice and neat. And then what I do is I put them in a Continental rigid mailer, and I have both sides right there, right next to me. So the research is real easy. So if anybody wants a digital download, it's in there. Just click on it. It's going to say, what do you want to donate? You don't have to donate. It's up to you. Just put 0 in there. Download the copies you want. Print them out. You got it. Free. The next thing I did these cards, and they're the physical copy. If you go in and buy it, then I'll mail you whatever ones you want. And I put $1.50 on there because I had to pay for the card, the ink, the postage, and the envelope. But also, after the fees and everything, not much left. But every one of these you buy, 50 cents will go to charity. We also have, my wife likes to do photography, and she made these. She got these. These are neat little Siesta Key, Siesta Beach lifeguard towers. That's the yellow one. That's the red one. The green one, and then the blue one. So I took those and I put them on a postcard stock, and I just printed them out on there. And these are SMPostcard originals. She owns the photos, and I did put a little signature, her little signature on the bottom, right on the end there. But I put those up there for $4.55, and $1 if you wanted to support that. Every card that sells there, $1 will go to charity. My wife worked at the high school for over 25 years, And there's a lot of kids there that don't have winter coats or boots or needs a prom dress or just down on their luck. And we're hoping to be able to donate again this year to different places. I have a bunch of stuff for the police department, stuff on toys that I'll give them so they can hand out to kids when there's problems. But all of this is basically free. It's just Ko-Fi is just a place for me to put it that I can point you to go get the free information that's already out there. I can't really remember. I think I got this information from eBay. The stamp box stuff, I don't know. I probably found it on the web and I just cut and pasted it and printed it out and put it in there. But I thought those would be two little things that would work. But check the link in the description, the Ko-Fi, CO-FI, here's the link right here. Then go click on the shop. There's no cost. If you want to donate, you can on there. It's just the best place for me to put stuff like this as we move forward, that I can do free digital downloads of information. I tried Google Docs and Google Drive, and it was just a little bit too much involved. This is simple. So see what you think, and as we get more things, I'll put it out. Ko-Fi for SM Postcards. Check it out. One of the viewers contacted me through email, and you can find our email and our mailing address in the video descriptions. But they said, have you ever seen a card like this? This is a cool card. I said, no, I never saw one like that. And we talked back and forth. I offered to buy it from her, and Robin is the viewer, sent it to me. So thank you, Robin, for that. And she said, you can use it on a video. It's pretty neat. It's basically, it fits right into what I always talk about. This is have a lot of crossovers. I did a little repair on it and got this laying down again and stuff like that because it's older and it just has a lot of layers. But it's embossed. It's got a felt-like add-on. It's mechanical. Now these little things here, you just pull them and you change the dates. I don't want to pull them too much because they're pretty, one's already ripping a little bit, but they got little metal on the bottom too, so it's a metal add-on, mechanical since it moves, embossed, and it's another novelty add-on card, and also a calendar card. These things are calendars. It's a foreign card. It does have some age to it, but it's actually pretty neat. But that's your crossover. So would you list this as embossed, mechanical, calendar, metal add-on, foreign? Decisions. But thanks again, Robin. That was a really cool card, and I got it sitting right up here with everything else that I've gotten from viewers. I just stick it on the shelf over there. Polls. Now I didn't screw this poll up. I haven't used this one yet. But that other video I did reuse a poll. I apologize. But this poll is, do you sell more postcards when all Item Specfics are filled out? This came from Calamity Reclamation, I think, from that. He suggested I put these out on there, and it was like a paragraph, and I picked out a couple questions out of it. And I kind of knew this would be hard for people to understand and how to quantify it and measure it. But do you list more postcards when all items specified are filled out? 11% said yes, 53% said no, and 36% left topics. Item Specfics is a hot button. It's caused some problems. I use templates that are filled out mostly, and I just got to change a few things when I list and on there. But I try to get the blue circle done, but there's some of them, like everything's a city and town. I mean, some of them are just the same thing for every postcard. I don't care what it is. It's going to go up there. Comments from this was, Karen said, I usually do as many as I can that are related to the card. I don't leave all blanks. My sales have been picking up, but I think it's because I'm listing every day. Yeah, I think listing every day, the new stuff gets put up in search. Everybody said it's eBay likes an active account, but basically when you put new items up, it's marked new and it goes to the top. It bubbles up to the top, and then as it doesn't sell, it'll float back down. But I sell cards that I've listed 3-4 years ago all the time. I'm in all these different boxes. But listing every day does help, and your sales will go. It gets people in your store and stuff like that. Cat D says, no way am I doing Item Specfics on everything I list, so I will never know. I hear that a lot from people. Then Kelly, I've never filled them in. I personally don't think it matters, but I could be wrong. I think the SEOs, like the city towns, they gather so much information from a listing and the queries and embedded procedures, the stored procedures that do all that stuff. It's just not as easy as people think to build those queries in a database and stuff. I mean, some of them could be pages and pages long, those programmers and some of those DBA. When I worked in the operations part of IT, we actually put together a group, and I sit at the table when I was part of the managers that were doing that, listening to people, and the word came out, data scientists. I go, what? We're not a laboratory. And they said data scientists. So they were hiring a director, and they were looking for data scientists. These are data mine guys. These are guys that go in and find data, and they can move it all around, run all these queries that takes hours to run. Some of them are pretty poor. They just use the standard templates, heat maps, and stuff like that. But some of these guys came up with some really good information on there. It's not as easy as people think, those search engines and stuff. They're constantly changing. They're actually looking at millions of pieces of information to go in there. And I'm just amazed how fast it does search. Does it matter or not? Let me know. Joe Mechanic, I don't know yet. I've only been at these for a couple months. I do try to fill out the recommended specifics when possible. So when you're starting out selling like postcards, I always tell people use best practices. Watch this video, watch the other postcard channels, watch other reselling channels, look for best practices. If you're selling hard goods, make sure you have a white background, they say, because Google likes it. Amazon, if you can meet Amazon standards for pictures, you can use it wherever. But I see a lot of backgrounds that are on brown, they're on tables, they're on bedspreads, stuff like that. That's distracting. And plus, maybe Google doesn't know how to differentiate all that stuff. That's the best practice. Titles. Make sure you don't use all caps. Don't put all that stuff up there. Keep it cryptic. On their photos, make sure they're clear, scanned, or whatever. Don't put a lot of stuff in your description. Fill out your item specifics. Once you get best practices, pick out the ones you think are true. There's a lot of conspiracy stuff out there saying, well, do this and it'll get you more sales. Basic best practices, once you get those down, then you can grow. But if you're not doing the best practices, you're going to be bouncing all over the place. And I see that with a lot of people. Their sales drop, they promote, they go out and buy. Usually when my sales go down a little bit, and I see a trend, and a trend is something that happens over time, not in just 1-2 days. That's not a trend. And a lot of people are reacting. The first thing they do is throw their store on sale, promoted listings, and go out and buy some more stuff. I'm just the opposite. I look for the trend, I let it go down, and I manage my expenses. I know right now I'm not going out buying thousands of dollars worth of postcards for my business because I'm seeing the economy and too much of a roller coaster trend. I'll just use what I have, keep my expenses low. If it's not a need and just a want, I'll pass it up. So once I do that, and if my sales still keep going down, then I'll look at sales, promoted listings there. But I will never do that end and relist because that'll break all my Pinterest. I have over 11,000 pins in my boards on Pinterest, postcards and other things. If I end and relist everything, I'll break every one of those links. I'm not going to do that. Plus Google, with the ships and stuff like that, that's all in there, and I get a lot of sales from there. Just because you're new, watch your item specifics, best practices, figure out what are the best out there. If you got any questions, let me know. Then Jules said, I'm not sure. I said it, so I said other. If I had to guess, I would say it isn't making a big difference, but I am filling out in the required and suggested now. That's best practice. Is I fill it out, get the little blue circle filled, I'm done. I'm not going to say there's 10 cards and worry about all that stuff. I have presets in the templates. And then as Wilcox says, I have no idea. That's basically what I thought when I put this poll out, is what Wilcox says. I have no idea. It's hard to quantify. I don't think it's wrong in filling out what you can, but if it's taking too much time, but I'm not on the side that I'm not doing this. It's there. It's part of the deal. I just go with the flow. You can't fight it. Spend all my time fighting the eBay changes and stuff like that. I find other things to do. But that's the poll. There's comes out every Saturday. I like people participating. Gives something to do on the video and also talk about. A lot of people do that. The polls out there, and Some say, what time do you wake up in the morning? I try to keep it relevant to postcards. So if you have any questions you want me to put out there, let me know. Just send them to me or put them in the comments and I'll see if I get them. If I miss it, make sure you get back to me. Now let's get into some viewer comments. I did 4 here. A lot of them come in. I'm starting to get a lot more, and I just grab them randomly. The more you probably comment, the more you might get picked out for the video. But Christina Wentz said, definitely writing this down. This was the video about the 5 postcards I wouldn't try to list on eBay. I've had back and forths on it, and some people will list them, some people don't, but these are the ones, in my opinion, that for me, I will not list. And that's the 5 band here. And she said, definitely writing this down. Yeah, it'll keep you out of trouble. But people can do what they want. Most of the time, eBay will end up taking them down. There's a couple in that list that I wouldn't even think about. Jules came back and said, another viewer comment, I just used Etsy, now Etsy, envelope mailing service today for the first time after watching your video. So this was one of the couple videos ago where a viewer told me that Etsy has mailing for letters like eBay standard envelope. And I never knew that. Jules was in the same boat, so I feel better, Jules. But he said it's great. It's so easy to use and very similar to eBay standard envelope. It is. It's basically the same, it looks like. I've been using a stamp and a hand addressing envelope. I was using a stamp, return address stamp, and a Dymo label. So he was handwriting. This is so much better. Yes, print, peel, and stick. That's all eBay standard envelope is. Thanks so much for mentioning your video and for the viewer who first brought it up. And I think it was Women Production CO. So thanks again. And that's another reason to subscribe to the channel, is people like Jules found an easier way to make things better. It's just all around that we're building here. Thanks for your comment, Jules. Next one is, what is it 5000? That's a cool name. What is it 5000? I wonder what the story behind that is. A little sad this series is over. That's with the 8 albums from the private collection I did. I was putting out every Saturday. A little sad this series is over, but I do appreciate your subtle humor. Not for sure if it's humor. Yeah, I'm glad it's over, but then I'm not glad, because there were some really good cards in there, and doing the data and putting it together was pretty neat to do, because it actually showed me real data, and I'm a data type person, as you know. And I hope I've gotten a lot of comments that it helped a lot of people to see what it takes to do a 1600 postcard buy, and the money that you spend and the money that you get. And there's 2 numbers that really stuck out. Was I paid $1,300 and I listed $10,000. $1,300 to $10,000. So my cost is about 10% is where my cost per card, and that's a lot more than I normally pay. But with the $10,000 turnaround, they're not going to sell tomorrow. I'm not going to get $10,000 tomorrow. It's going to be months and years to get all this back. But little sneak preview, I'm already making money. I got my money back already. 80 some days in. All that data is out there, and you can see the cards, you can skip through the videos. I think the longest part was doing the videos where I actually holding the card up that way. But I'll probably do that again in the future. I have some other buys that I've gotten on there. I probably won't go in that much detail, but I'll show you about the buys and what I expect to list them for. Thanks. What is it 5000? And then Kelly with another viewer comment. He said, thank you for all the videos on this collection. That's about the private collection as well. That's how my 550 steamship collection was. Kelly bought a whole bunch of steamship. It looks like 550 postcards. He was able to get them all listed in a couple of weeks. Good job. And made back what I spent in about 30, 40 days. And when I read this, this was falling right in about what I usually do. It's like deja vu to me. Yeah, when I buy like 500, 600 cards, usually 30, 40 days I'll get my money back, and then the rest is profit. Now I sell maybe 1 or 2 a week, but it's all profit at this point. And that's what I find when exactly what he's seeing is exactly what I see. When I buy like 1,000 postcards and I put them up there, I get my money back. Well, everybody cherry picks the best cards first, and you get your money back, and then the other ones kind of sprinkle in. Just like you saw today with Etsy, I had 5 of the private collection. Maybe tomorrow and the next day I won't sell any of these for a week. And then all of a sudden someone will come in and buy 3 or 4. So the newness is wore off. The novelty, the honeymoon's over. Now it's just basically steady sales coming in. But it's all profit now. Now there is some postcards that are just very novelty and don't sell as well. You don't see them as often, and this is one of them. Photo fun postcards. I did a video about these. It's where you can cut the head out of a photo of like grandma or grandpa, and you can tape it on or glue it into these postcards, because these postcards are headless. But I walk you through those and what they're worth, because you'll see them out there for sale, the little booklets of these photo fun postcards. That's all I got for you today. Good luck out there, and I'll catch you on the next one.